This is the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
You're inside Jamaica Magazine.
Encouraging the information flow, sharing the news and views you need to know.
We are building an informed Jamaica every day.
Listening to what you say.
Riddle me this, riddle me that. What's this lovely building in the background? I won't tell you just yet. Hi there, I'm Samantha Allen. As you already know, you are inside the Sunday edition of Jamaica Magazine. On today's pages, homes of esteemed men which have become a part of Jamaica's heritage. Agriculture takes a spotlight in issues and answers, and a recap of the latest news matters in the nation. Stay with us.
You may be wondering if it's safe to eat pork. According to medical experts, the influenza A H1N1 virus is not spread by food. You cannot get the virus from eating pork or pork products either. So, eating properly handled and cooked pork products is safe. A message from the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
If you are a Jamaican, you would have heard about the White Witch of Rose Hall. But recently, with the assistance of Jamaica National Heritage Trust, the JNHT, more great houses were discovered. The stories are similar to that of Annie Palmer, but I won't tell you any more. Listen to this.
This is Taina country.
This is Rasta country.
This is Aki country.
Jerk country.
Wood country.
Water country. This is diverse country, a place where four cultures and some met and melded, concocting a never-ending potpourri of adventures.
Here's the story of the British five-star Army General.
For uprooting the lands formerly known as Jamaica from under the Spanish, Major Generals of the British Army that invaded Jamaica in 1655 were presented with hefty land parcels as reward. The vast acreage doled out to one Colonel John Colbeck, who, after the heist, retired to a placid life as House Speaker, is situated just outside Old Harbour in St. Catherine.
He was granted over 1,000 acres here.
The memory of many of the army men who got lands as laurels lives on through their names, which are today mostly attached to a mere morsel of the original lot. But in the case of Colonel John Colbeck, well, his name perseveres in that and more. Amidst the 1,000-acre expanse he received, he built this.
Well, it's big, and it's really big. It's a bit interesting, on how they built the stuff. Yeah, it's big.
Or did he really?
There's question about when it was built and who actually built it. But some people say it might have been built in the late 17th century, which might have made him the builder.
Another sketchy bit of architectural record suggests it's of early 18th century Georgian mold. And if that indeed were the case, then well, John Colbeck would have long been resting in his tunnel crypt, a 2-mile-long passageway where not only his body, but all his gold is rumored to have been interred. Colbeck Castle was evidently once the center of thriving plantation life in that section of the parish. The property boasts a number of distinct relics from that era, but some visitors to Colonel Colbeck's castle today say the retentions are just a bit too real for them.
It reminded me of what my ancestors must have gone through to build that. Some of them would have died. I just feared this morning I was walking on their blood.
However, there are many today who regard Colbeck's castle and plantation beyond its historic daily grind. The structure, they reckon, has refused to allow time to belie its grandeur.
You get that space of ballrooms, of a whole different kind of lifestyle.
I just thought of the food layout in there, you know, a lot of pork and a lot of chicken and a lot of goat, and I just thought of, you know, big parties.
Wow, I just like to live there. I think it's an incredible site. If you notice, we had that beautiful breeze up there. Yeah man, I'd live there.
If the facade still allowed, one could enjoy an expansive view of Old Harbour Bay, 4 miles away from the castle's second floor. Its height, it said, was an armament against sea-based ambush from English enemies. Unlucky were the Spaniards not to have discovered and built their own fort at Colbeck first, don't you think?
Our next character? Well, his is the story of the island's first recorded serial killer.
It was a bit steep to go up. It's a bit steep.
A space like this is on top of a hill. Coming up here is a semi-adventure. Clambering over the rocks, it allows the entire thing to breathe.
Don't hold your breath. For it's alleged that the infamous owner of what was once this charming 18th century hilltop castle, Louis Hutchinson, was the author of no less than 40 missing persons reports in St. Pedro District, St. Anne, in the 1760s.
When you come up on top of one like this and you hear the history surrounding it, it makes you know that this is the way people used to live.
No, not at all. For what Hutchinson did was certainly not in keeping with the neighborly edicts that governed the era. Travelers were to be fed, watered, and offered a night's lodging, at least. But Hutchinson gave his house guests more than they could have seen coming.
He entertained people at his home, he fed them, they drank, and when they left...
What he did. We're sitting up there and you can see right down the road, down Elm Mile.
There are holes with a line of sight leading directly for the road.
And you can see exactly how I'd be looking out the turret, taking a bead on some unsuspecting guy on his horse.
Peep through the hole, fire at them with his gun.
I'm shooting him.
He killed them.
What was it, 42 people he killed that we know of?
They found 43 watches here, and that's the persons he had killed. What a very sad story.
I get shivers. I just cannot imagine, you know, what went on up there. I have heard the stories, but I just cannot imagine that somebody could really sit down and orchestrate such things. So I am kind of, you know, woozy when I visit there.
Louis Hutchinson would commit the crime 2 more times on his way to the scaffold, once in a feud over Edinburgh's boundary lines. It would appear Louis himself lived his life on the edge. It's reckoned he was a nutcase, haunted by ghosts from a tumultuous childhood. Since Hutchinson's